Welcome. I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for Your Transformation, Real People, Real Conversations, and Real Success. Very excited to be going live on Facebook as well as YouTube, and just trying to make sure that we are indeed live on. Yes, we are. We are live on YouTube. So I want to begin today talking about strategic coaching. And just one moment as I get the connection, complete the connections on all the platforms. So today's exciting. Today's exciting because number one, I get to talk to Suzanne, but it's also exciting because today we're doing something quite innovative, something quite new. And what we're actually doing is we're doing a simulcast on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as Crowdcast. And starting next week, I'll get on Periscope as well. So for Prescription for Your Transformation, it's all about delivering information to you that perhaps you didn't know or weren't aware of, or didn't understand quite the relevance of that. And the way that I get to do this is I get to invite and interview these amazing individuals like Suzanne today, who have this very unique kind of experience and has transmuted all the things that they've learned over the years into something very, very special for them so that they can deliver that to you and so that you can change your life. So from a very early age, Suzanne was exposed to airplanes and these flying machines out there, totally enthralled with this. And over time was exposed to the military, went into the military, and at a very young age, at the age of 19, being the first woman being responsible for ground crew. And you can imagine at the age of 19 and as a woman, the challenges that she must have faced. But her commitment, her discipline, her consistency allowed her to then become an instructor and then flying dignitaries all over the world with different types of aircraft, including special types of helicopters and DC-9s. But not only with this military experience, with the discipline, the consistency, the work, the ethics, and the mission-driven purpose, she integrated that with brain strategies, extensive background in NLP and other types of coaching. And so I'd like to welcome Suzanne today and to talk about her and her business of momentum research. So Suzanne, welcome.
Thank you, Bart. It's good to see you.
So I'm excited, number one, to talk to you, of course. We had an incredible trip in New Zealand. Yes. And I know that was mind-blowing for you, and not only you, but for all of us. But we also want to talk about momentum research and the balance between what you've learned in the military as far as discipline and consistency, as I mentioned, and mission, and so many other aspects of what the military teaches us. But then also the brain strategies, and you found a way to integrate the two and are helping a lot of people out there.
It's a lot of fun. Going through the military at a young age, I was kind of formed into the way of thinking, which was morals, values, get the job done, teamwork. And as I got into the civilian world, I started realizing there was a little bit of a lack of that. So I started to learn more about how I can impact team building and impact others in their quest for leadership. So it took me on a journey with Tony Robbins to start with and learning some of the tools he uses. And then I went into NLP. And I've spent the last 4 years perfecting my NLP skills. And bringing all three of those together caused me to create Momentum Research International. So that was the background to that.
So tell us a little bit about brain strategies and what are some of the things that you get to focus on when you do your coaching? And I know we had a little chat beforehand, and you have this long list of things that you help people go through. And again, I just like to, once again, remind any of the listeners, it's what you don't know that you don't know that's going to make the whole difference. And just listening to Suzanne today with some of the key insights that can really change your life will be extremely valuable. So if you like, just share some of those with us.
Well, one of the first things that I work with is as we go through life, there's things that happen to us, and it's how long we stay in that pain, because pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So I try to work with my clients on that first premise. Don't stay in suffering so long. Find a way to get out of that bottom of your emotion and come and stay at a level, I call it a level, where you're going from, this is where I started from, and then I go down into pain, but I want to stay up here. So we stay up on this level keel. The other thing I work with is the 6 human needs, and understanding what other people's model of the world is. And that could be that they might just need certainty, or they might need variety. What is their top need, not mine? So coming from their model of the world and understanding that has helped me a lot with growth. And one of the top human needs is growth. And if you're not growing, you're dying. So we work with that. I also work with, what's your compelling future? What are you doing today that's going to pull you through the times in your business where you might not have all the answers, but you know that compelling future is so strong. We could even go to Think and Grow Rich. Think yourself into that next position. So those are just a few of the things that I work with.
You know, it's interesting you bring these topics up, because, you know, I was completely unaware of, you know, them until I guess my early 40s. And, you know, with all the training that I underwent, 17 years of medical training, you know, I thought I was, you know, pretty smart, pretty educated, and I spoke four languages. And actually, interesting enough, early on in my medical career in medical school, I was reading the Greek classics, all the philosophers, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates. But what I did not make that jump that many, you know, of our world leaders today in the strategy business or the coaching business made, as to how to incorporate that into our daily lives. And so I think so many people out there just don't have a clue as to how to live. I mean, we've been given a bunch of ideas and concepts and strategies that we've acquired from our parents or our teachers, or, you know, people that are inspiring us perhaps on TV. But none of them really is the full gist, if you will, of how to live life. And so the things that you're sharing with us today, compelling future, for example, you know, most people are just simply not aware of that. And just having that essence, having something to look forward to. And I had this great talk with Luke Wren, I'm sure you know him, last night. And, you know, having that vision, knowing what you want in life. But you're doing something even more special today, and that's with your momentum research. And share a little bit about that.
Well, momentum research was started, got out of the military after 12 years in, and I went into corporate America and learned the strategic planning and going through the AMA, the Marketing Association, and learning how to plot my sales, how to work with material through manufacturing and try to make my territory grow. And I realized that there was a lot of little nooks and crannies that were missing, little cracks. So as I grew in my sales career, I kind of took notes and said, wow, I could do it this way better. So I would try that on in my territory on the side, not really tell a lot of people. And I found success and failure. And I took those successes and I realized that not only is it coaching individuals, but it's businesses. What's your strategy to get to the next level? What are the 7 forces of business mastery that you have to apply to your business to grow? What's your mapping? What's going on in the future with you? Are you using the right technology? I'm able to network with a number of really innovative companies, and I'm finding awesome ways to get your word out there, not just through marketing in the old sense, the old-fashioned way. And how do you inspire your team? So not only do I inspire individuals, but how do you inspire your team to get to that next level? What are you doing as a leader to show them that you've already got what it takes. And who are you bringing up in your team to be that next leader? So it's a combination of my sales background and marketing and my brain strategy and some of the things that I've learned over the last 7 years on my own journey in personal development. So bringing that into a team environment, a business environment, it gives an opportunity to breathe. I think sometimes in sales or in our marketing meetings, we all tend to tense up and we're really good at PowerPoint presentations, but are we really having fun? And sometimes when we're at work, we're just not having fun. So that's also part of why momentum research started.
Yeah, you know, and again, it's a conversation I had yesterday, and it is about having fun. It's, you know, appreciating that, you know, you've got a choice. And if you remember, you know, the talk in New Zealand, there's this little girl by the name of Gabby Rademaker.
Your lovely daughter.
And my lovely daughter. And she said it very eloquently, you know, we have a choice. And, you know, what's interesting is that so many people often think that they must do a certain thing to be happy. They must follow certain, you know, guidelines or rules, or a particular profession, or just get married at a certain time and have so many kids, and or just follow a dogma or a religion.
Yes.
And hoping, in the hopes to find that happiness, and really not living a life, you know, by their design, or living a life of passion. And you and I have been in that environment with Tony Robbins, where it is all about passion. It also starts about with identity. You know, who are you? And these are all the things that you get to help people with, is helping them appreciate who they are and where they want to go. And so that's very commendable. And I know you've been very successful in the fundraising business and turning things around. And also you had an incredible experience in New Zealand. Is it okay to talk about that for a moment?
Absolutely. It changed my life. I cannot boast and beam as much as I can about my trip to New Zealand. It was just phenomenal. There wasn't, even when we were cold, and we were sleeping on the floor with the Maori tribe, the Wataha, on the North Island, and 38 of us were on these little mattresses, and it was freezing cold. The snoring symphony was nutty. It was still a beautiful moment, and living in a beautiful state with 38 other people. I got to tell you, Bart, it was, as you know, it was just life-changing. And I tell everyone 2 things I learned the most out of this trip. First of all is live with no expectations. Because if you don't have expectations, you're able to appreciate the gifts that you get without saying, oh, wait, that didn't happen. Oh, wait, this didn't happen. Oh, it did happen. It happened for me, not to me. The other thing I learned is, and this, I know this sounds crazy, but I jumped out of an airplane over Fiji. And I was scared. I've been scared all my life of leaving a perfectly good airplane. And I was with one of my dear friends, Maria Mattarelli, on the trip, and she and I kind of pushed each other a little to get on that Cessna and fly to 14,000 feet. And I realized Will Smith is correct. There's a video that Will Smith does, and it says, liberation is on the other side of fear. Yeah. And I tell you, I think I'm still glowing. I think I still have the afterglow of jumping out of an airplane. It was amazing.
Yeah, and anybody who can watch that, it's a funny piece. It's on Facebook, by the way, and I forget the name of it. I think I liked it, so maybe I'll post it. But you're so right on. And he talks about this whole story that, you know, he just kind of says, okay, I'll jump. And then the night before, he's freaking out.
Did I say
What's that?
He says, did I say I was going to do that? Oh, all my buds are going, so I got to go. Kind of the Maria Suzanne thing.
But you know what? And you're fearful to the very moment that you're ready to step over out of the airplane. And they say, okay, on the count of 3, we go. And then he says, on the count of 1, 2, and then at 2, they push you out, because at 3, you're holding on to the rails. And it's so funny, and our life is driven so much by these fears that just simply don't exist. And I think Mark Twain said it best, and I'm not going to say it in the right way, but he says something to the effect that, I die 1,000 times a day for these horrendous things that I can imagine, and of which none of them ever happen. And so why do we do that? Why do you think we do that?
I think we're so conditioned. Our brain tells us it's fear or flight. We've got to find something wrong. We let our brain rule our world, where it's our heart that really should rule our world. And we should come from the heart. And you get in your brain, it's just, there's no way out of fear or flight. So when you're in a loving environment and you're coming from your heart, you have nothing but love to give. And so I think fear is just an illusion that we've taught ourselves that, oh, what's going to happen? Well, what is going to happen? I might have fun. It might be an amazing journey floating down from 14,000 feet to the earth. The other thing that was so amazing was breaking through another fear. And a lot of us had it, which was speaking on stage. And I've had the pleasure of doing that a couple of times, but not in a stadium, in another country, in front of 3,000 people, and did my 8-minute talk, and it was beautiful. It felt good. I made connections with the audience. So being able to break through that barrier was also amazing. And then I held a 90-minute workshop the next day. And that workshop also reminded me that in my business with Momentum Research, not only do we build a volunteer base or a customer base, we build raving fans. And it's not our customers or our end users that are our raving fans, it's our own team. If everybody gets on the same mission and has the same outcome, you have no choice but to have raving fans that create more raving fans, kind of a snowball effect to your customers. So that was a big aha for me also.
And of course, the biggest raving fan is yourself. And I think that's the one thing that we got to experience in New Zealand, how it's totally okay to be yourself, and especially working with the Waitaha. And love the fact, that their philosophy is, there's no rules except for one. Don't hurt anyone. Don't harm anyone. Yes, and it's okay. And it's okay to be you. And, so just as I always like to put it, just celebrate your faults and your weaknesses, but as well as your greatness and your magnificence. And all of that, has a purpose in of itself. And that's for you to develop, to evolve, to become the best version of yourself. And that's why, again, I have this platform so that people can discover people like yourself who've gone through this journey. I mean, just look at what you've done. You joined the military at a very young age and very decisively, picked a career and a path that most people would be scared to do, and faced tremendous challenges, because I can't even imagine what it's like as a 19-year-old in the military dealing with a lot of adults, right? You're still a kid at 19, basically. But not only that, being a woman and how challenging that can be. And, you dealt with it, and you dealt it with eloquence and style. And today you're reaching a place where, with all those learnings over the years and realizing with compassion how tough it was, that you now are in a position to teach others and mentor others and guide others in their path to better success.
It was, again, that compelling future. Not knowing what it was, but now that I've learned how to pull from within, I realized that nothing was going to stop me. I was going to be flight crew, and I was going to be the best flight crew I could be. And that's pretty much how I attack anything I do in life. I try to be the best that I can be, and my team is the best they can be. So giving them the opportunity to step up and serve is important. And learning that compelling future at a young age, everything I do in life is very similar to that. It was a lot of fun and a lot of work, and got to see a lot of really amazing places in the world. Met a number of different people from different cultures, and back in the 80s, going to Japan, even meeting the little girls in Japan that were teaching me how to write their name in their hieroglyphics. In Dunedin, when we were in New Zealand, I got together with a bunch of little girls that were just adorable. They were high school girls. And we took a picture with all of us that I put right next to my picture from Japan. So nothing changed from 1981 to today. It's just the same type of feeling when you meet other people.
That is awesome. So how do people find you, Suzanne? If they want to connect with you and acquire your help, how do they do that?
I'm at info@momentumresearchintl.com. Momentum Research, INTL for international.com. My cell phone to reach me directly is 407-412-8289. And Facebook, I'm on Facebook. So
awesome. So, well, I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for Your Transformation, talking to the amazing Suzanne Oliver. And, what a great person you are. You're out there helping people and contributing so much, way beyond yourself. And I know in the world of charities, you've done tremendous work. And so I look very much forward to continuing our conversations and, bringing more people together and talking about, the very specific things that can help others to change their lives. I'm very blessed to be in this space where I get to talk to people like yourself and Luke Wren from yesterday and people from the Tony Robbins world, but also all walks of life and learning, the gifts and talents that these people have and how they've overcome their own particular challenges. And in this manner, letting people know that you're not alone. There's people out there that are walking in the same shoes as you are. And they're the ones that actually get to understand what it is that you do. And I know you've done some tremendous work with some vets, particularly, women vets, and anybody who's a woman vet and wants, to talk about what's going on in their life and how they can manage a brighter future, check out Suzanne, because I know she's got a big heart for that as well. So once again, I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for Your Transformation, real people, real conversations. And it's about bringing new voices, new solutions, tapping into your authentic genius and living the life you desire. And today is the first time, and hopefully it worked out, that I do the simulcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Crowdcast, and hopefully it worked out. So Suzanne, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bart.
And I'll talk to you soon.